Ms. Hariharan, now we know the litany of logics, the cost of the elections, which is not overbearing to a country, but there is a significant cost. The convenience of elections, you can argue that you improve voter turnout if you reduce the number of times the voters have to go. You can even further argue, as politicians often do, that because of elections, too much time is spent thinking about politics and campaigns and less time on governance. And in many places, because we have codes of conduct and that applies to government, governmental schemes have to be put on hold, and governance basically has to be put on hold for a couple of months every time an election takes place. In this country, every 6 months, there are elections happening in some state or the other, or a bunch of states. So why try to do this very complicated and contentious exercise, which will require a lot of legal challenges? Why even attempt it, ma'am?
So precisely the reasons that you mentioned, all of those reasons are the reasons why we are going for one nation, one election. So this has been something that has been proposed from a very long time. So it was in the past as well. The Law Commission had also proposed that we go for a one nation, one election kind of system. And we also had it in the past, if you remember the 50s and the 60s, also early 60s, we had this, simultaneous assembly and national elections happening. And for the reasons that you mentioned, voter fatigue, and governance cycle, political instability, and when the whole nation is under one framework, under one system, definitely the kind of governance and the kind of productivity that you see out of the programs and the schemes and the policies would have definitely much more productivity and efficiency, which I'm sure every citizen would agree. So, because there's a lot of election fatigue and there's a lot of voter fatigue, because every state, if you have a different cycle, can you imagine the kind of cost that is involved and the kind of, the code of conduct, as you mentioned, the code of conduct again puts a pause on all developmental activities for a long time. So the state is actually functioning effectively only for a very short time, because you have many national holidays in India, and then you have this code of conduct, and then you have the election campaigning going on. So a lot of the government machinery also, as you know, is utilized for elections, including the security personnel who are deployed across India and various states at various points of time.